Hey everybody, Stone Rain Productions here. Feel free to call me SRP if you prefer. And today I wanted to revisit a deck that did well in the past, but I think it got a pretty cool new tool. The the big question a while ago was with set 5 Boba was, do you run it with the droids or without the droids? And a lot of people chose not to run it with droids. And I think we got a new reason to run it with the droids now. And I put this together. It's based off of another deck that did well with the droids. And yeah, we'll go into it. We'll jump into it card by card and we'll discuss everything. So to start off with here, for everybody that is not familiar with Set 4 Boba, let's take a look at him here. It is leader, when you deal non-combat damage, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 indirect damage to a player. Pretty simple. He flips on 6, and he's either +4/+4 to a unit, or he's a 4/7 on the ground. So I think everybody knows Boba at this point, so probably no point in going over it more in detail. It's a very powerful leader. I'll be honest, I really don't care for this style of deck personally, but I think this is really powerful. It's not my particular playstyle, but if you like it, certainly more power to you. Don't fault anybody for wanting to play it. We're running Data Vault as well here too. So we've got the 33 HP, but we're running 10 extra cards. And I'm just going to go over the cards one by one here. But the primary new addition is in the bottom right, the Vatun Pala, I believe it's called. Vatun Pala. Or Pala, most likely. Very tricky one to say, but we'll go over everything here. First up, Salvage, 0 cost. It lets us replay a vehicle unit from our discard pile, and then we deal damage to it. Great way to recycle some of our units here, and we do have pretty good space presence, so it's a nice fit. I believe that also may have been a consideration for Force Throw at the time, but don't have to worry about that right now. As when this video is posted, the Force Throw ban had pretty much just gone into effect. Next up, we got a single copy of Daring Raid, just a good way to get in a couple of points of damage. I did cut this down a little bit just to make room. You could probably go to 61 or 62 and up the number of Daring Raid. It's a good card for sure. Fits well. Next up, the Allegiant General Pryde, 2/3, and this card is really, really good. When you have the initiative, it's just phenomenal. So if you're on the play, you definitely want to start with this. 2/3. In Aggression Villainy, of course. When indirect damage is dealt, you may defeat a non-unique upgrade on it. That's a nice thing and all, but the bottom is really what we're looking for here. On attack, if you have the initiative, deal 2 indirect damage to a player. So, very solid. And now we're going to get into our droid package. The DRK-1 Probe Droid is pretty excellent. Another 2-cost unit for the early game, 2/3. And when played, you get to defeat a non-unique upgrade. So that's definitely handy. You can blow up an experience or get rid of a shield and go from there. We've also got HK-47, and I really like this one. It's a unique 2/4 for 2, and when an enemy unit is defeated, you get to deal damage to a player's base. Very, very solid. Then we've got the ever dangerous OOM series officer here. 2 cost, 2/1, but we don't really care if this dies so much because when it's defeated, we get to deal 2 damage to a base. Pretty great. So those are our first 3 droids. There are some coming up here in a little bit. TIE Bomber, I swear Boba plays this turn 1 every single game that I see, and it's a powerful one. 0/4, on attack you deal 2 indirect damage, but Boba's going to always make that 3, so it's just solid space unit. Does a great job in this deck. Next up, we've got the Vanguard Droid Bomber. And this is also a droid, so just keep that in mind with this list. When played, if you control another Separatist unit, deal 2 damage to an enemy base. 2/2 in space, not super powerful, but though when played is pretty good. Force Choke is probably never going to have its cost reduced, but this card is just so good not to include it. 5 damage to a non-vehicle unit. Pretty great removal. Another card that we have that's a droid that, again, people may not realize it because it's space as well, but it is a droid, is the Droid Missile Platform. 3 cost, 4/2, and aggression. And when defeated, you get to deal 3 indirect damage to a player. Pretty simple, but it's a very effective tool for this deck. We've also got 3 copies of Super Laser Technician. Ramp is always fantastic. 2/1 for those that don't know. When defeated, you get to put it into play as a resource and ready it. So, very good way to get extra resources pretty quickly. It's fast, it's an early unit, so it's definitely going to see play. And it may actually take out a pesky ground unit as well. We've got 3 copies of Open Fire here, and again, this one's pretty straightforward. 3 costs, deal 4 damage to a unit. It's going to just take out things that are pesky to us here that we need to get rid of. And since this is a ramp deck, we're also running 3 copies of Resupply, which, again, for the people that may not know, which I don't think there are many unless you're just starting, 3 cost, and you put this card into play as a resource. It does come in exhausted, but it's okay. You're still up a resource. Fett's Fire Spray. Really like this card. It's very, very good, very solid, and this is one of the better special rarity cards as well. This came in the Boba Spotlight deck. But 4 cost, 4/4, and space, and when played and on attack, deal 1 indirect damage to a player. If you control Boba Fett as a unit, upgrade, or leader, deal 2 indirect damage instead. So, just another solid unit. Boba is obviously meant to pilot it. It's fantastic. It's pretty fair costed unit, 4 for a 4/4. It's pretty great. Then we go into the Dornian Gunship at 5. This is where we really kind of start to get the late game presence here. Dornian Gunship says, when played, deal indirect damage to a player equal to the number of vehicle units you control. So this really incentivizes us to be a strong space deck, and we are with this. With the new edition as well, it makes it even stronger. We've also got the standard anything with cunning, villainy, overwhelming barrage, complete stable at this point. If you don't know it, you must be new to the game because it's everywhere. And we give a unit +2/+2, and then you divide the damage of it equal to its power among units that your opponent controls. It's a good way to wipe the board out. For 5 costs, pretty fantastic. And on the heels of that, Craving Powers, kind of a backup of that. It's a new, I guess, fixed version, if you want to call it, of the Overwhelming Barrage. Same cost. It's an upgrade. It gives +2/+2. And when played, you get to deal damage equal to the power of the unit to another unit, enemy unit. Enemy unit, yeah. Okay, great. Let's just stay zoomed in here. The Invisible Hand is the primary reason for playing the droid package, and we're kind of reinforcing that with a card at the end, which we'll go over, but let's focus in on Invisible Hand. So this is the set 4 Invisible Hand. There were 2 versions of this, but this one I think is much, much better than the other. 6 cost, 6/6. When played, when this unit completes an attack and survives, you have to remember, complete an attack means that the unit has to survive. You may search the top 8 cards of your deck for a droid unit, reveal it, and draw it. It costs 2 or... If it costs 2 or less, you may play it for free. So anything that's 2 or less, we get to play it for free. So we're going to get the DRK, we're going to get an HK, we get an OOM, and we get the Vanguard Droid Bomber as well. So we've got 12 different cards that we could potentially hit with that. It's pretty effective, and when this attacks and when it's played, that's pretty nice. Being able to get that board advantage here just for playing it or attacking is awesome. Another one we want to zoom in on here is Planetary Bombardment. Again, I think most people know this, but 6 cost, deal 8 indirect damage to a player. If you control a capital ship, deal 12 indirect damage instead. This very literally can finish the game quickly. So it's an excellent card, of course, very solid, and it's a big part of this deck. Even the non-droid versions use it. We've got Maul at 7. It's another great way to finish the game, as we'll zoom in on this. We'll just stay here. 7 cost, 7/6, ambush, overwhelm. Great card. The overwhelm is just backbreaking as well, in my opinion, because it can just finish the game by itself with the overwhelm. If you've got something that's got low HP or is heavily damaged, Maul can just take it out and finish the game off. But on attack, you may choose another friendly underworld unit. If you do, all combat damage is dealt to that unit during the attack instead to the chosen unit. Don't really think that's applicable. Just a cursory look here, yeah, I don't really think that's super applicable, but it's kind of cool. If you got a deck with Underworld, it can certainly take advantage of that. Then another big addition, or another big card in this deck, I should say, not big addition, but when set 4 came out, Devastator, the new one, the Aggression Villainy one, 9/6 in space, you assign all indirect damage you deal to opponents. Pretty fantastic. And when played, you get to deal 4 indirect damage to each opponent. So you're going to be able to choose that, of course. Most people will take out some pesky or troublesome unit, or sometimes, if it's the end of the game, you just need the extra damage, you play the Devastator. And lastly, the main card that I wanted to highlight here with set 6, this was just recently spoiled as of recording of this here, is the Vutan Pala. We can have fun trying to say it right. 9 cost, 7/7, Separatist Vehicle Capital Ship. This unit costs 1 less to play for each friendly droid. So we've got a lot of droids in this deck. We can get this down early, especially if we get a ramp and invisible hand. And the bottom part, I think, really gets extra value out of the droids. Each friendly droid unit may be exhausted to pay costs as if it were a resource. So now we've got a 7/7 that turns our droids into resource effects, essentially. So we can exhaust our DRK-1 probe, we can exhaust our HK, our OOM, and so on and so forth, to get us extra resources that we can pay to play cards in our hand. So it's really fantastic, and I think that really puts this version of the deck over the top. That's my opinion, but it was already powerful, and I think that this new card gives it just a small push towards being a lot more playable. Again, that's my opinion. Sideboard, I didn't build this particular list, so I don't want to take any credit for it at all. I just put in the new card. I think it's really great here. On the side, we've got 1 copy of Salvage, 2 Grieved Parliamentarian, that's a mouthful, against the Kylo decks. We've got 1 more copy of Force Choke, 2 copies of Grenade Strike, good way to get rid of some ground units that are giving you a problem, 2 Disabling Fang Fighters, and the Reinforcement Walker. With this version, we may want to consider moving it to the main. I just didn't really want to change it around too much. The reason why is obviously we're going to have more resources with the Vutan Pala in play with all of our droids, as long as they survive, which most likely they will. But yeah, that's the deck. I think it's pretty fantastic. I hope that people give the droid version a shot with the new ship. And yeah, I think it's fantastic. I hope you give it a try. Just wanted to say thanks for stopping by, checking out the video. If you would please like and subscribe, it really helps out. I still consider myself a new content creator, as I've been here for just over a month now, but definitely please like and subscribe. It will really help me out a lot. And lastly, just want to say, may the Force be with you, friends. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and be well.